objectives. All right. So what is the objective of what's the objective for the auditor? All right, to audit this system. What is their objective when they come? Of course, the objective over here is very clear, right? First is they want to ensure what? Ensure the data integrity. The objective is to ensure data integrity. Data integrity means the data is accurate, the data is complete, the data is not tampered. Right? It means they are good data. Integrity. You know what's integrity? Integrity is being a well-respected manner, right? Or being you're an integrity guy. You're in an integrity. Integrity is what? Honest, something like good, right? There's no issue with the thing. So data integrity, you want to ensure that the data integrity. That's the first objectives. Okay? Any questions? We'll look at it later on how to ensure data integrity when we look at how the auditor audit the system, which is the input, process, output, control. Right, they will look into detail. Second one is want to evaluate what? System control. I want to evaluate the system control. The objective is to evaluate whether the system are in control or not. Are in control. The system is safeguard. All right, in a way that you have a good system, but the system, if it's not well implemented, all right, or someone got a third party, or if there is any loophole, right, means it's not good. So you want to ensure, you want to evaluate whether the system has the control or not, all right. Then you want to, what is this one? The objectives: investigate, detect, all right, detect and mitigate. Yeah. What's it? Threat, right? Detect the threat and mitigate the risk, right? You want to also detect and mitigate the risk for one of the objectives. And finally is you want to, not you lah, right? The auditor, right? The purpose. What is this? Verify the financial, validate the financial reporting or the data. All right. Very, very simple, straightforward. Any questions? So don't worry, these are all inside the textbook anyway. Alright, it's inside the textbook already. I'm just changing it to visual. If you come to tutorial already, then you know about visualizing data. Tomorrow is it your tutorial? So if you bring your laptop, you go and download the Power BI in advance. All right. If you use the computer laptop in the lab, it is installed already. Okay. All right. So this is the tools, right? This is the one that I say the auditor use some tools to perform the audit. And over here are some of the examples. I'm not going to go into detail because you will learn them in the auditing class. Computer assisted, this is CAT lah. The CAT. CAT is a system to help you to keep track of all the work. What they call this? working paper. What I'm trying to tell you, a working paper, all this term, right? All this term is auditing term. Alright? In auditing term, in audit, right, you will have a working paper. They call it working paper is like a paper that you write something on top of it, saying that you're doing some work, you have done some audit. Okay, before that, right, do you know what's auditor? Do you know what's auditor? Never learned yet. So auditor is like this, okay? Imagine that you have already completed your financial report, you generate from your system, then you want to publish this report, right? You don't want to publish, but because of regulation and law purposes, you need to publish the report to let everyone know. Then you'll be taxed based on the report. Alright? And in order for you to publish your report, you cannot simply go and publish your report because the credibility of the report is in question, right? You question whether the report is it true or fair or not. Right? You understand? Whether the report that has been generated from the system is true and fair. So there's a question mark, right? There's a big question mark. This is what they call the information asymmetry between the company and the stakeholder. You take the stakeholder or the shareholder, right? You take the shareholder money, then you run the business, In the company, I'm talking about big company, alright? I'm trying to introduce you to the concept of auditing. Alright? You take the money of the shareholder and you run the business. Then after that, what you do is you pay dividend to the shareholder, right? You understand? Imagine you have so much money, you want to invest, throw your money inside to a company, the company grow, your share increase, one of the way you earn money. Second is the company pay you dividends, right? So you want to ensure that this company is managing well. You cannot go and sit down there because you are just a shareholder, right? Maybe in some company you are a big holder, then you can sit inside the meeting. But if you are a small holder, you will rely only on the financial reports. The only way for you to evaluate whether this company is doing well or not. So in order to ensure that this report is doing well, this company is doing well, you check on the report. However, this report problem is what? The problem is it might not be true, right? The person that is in charge inside the company might report something false, right? Something that is not in best interest of the investor, all right, or the shareholder. That's the concept of information asymmetry. When the shareholder wanted to gain profit, but the director or the manager tried to gain their own benefit also by getting the money. Who is it? Lecturer. So the problem is what happened is that problem is the shareholder wanted to gain a lot of profits, but the director or the management wanted to gain more salary, right? Wanted to get the money from the company. So what they have to do is they will report the financial report. The problem is this financial report is question mark, right? Whether is it valid or not. So what you do is you hire a third party, which is the auditor. Alright? Here comes the auditor, right? The auditor comes in, they check whether the financial report is true and fair or not. Very long story, right? You got what I'm trying to bring you to. So what they will do is this auditor, this group of people, right, which is the auditor, they will express their opinion, all right, whether this report is true and fair or not. So if they express that this is true and fair, it means the report is valid, all right. So they cannot simply express whether this report is true and fair, right? Your auditor, imagine you want to check this financial report. This financial report, you cannot simply say this is true and fair. You need to go through some steps, right? Some procedures. And that's the whole thing is in auditing already, right? You will learn the audit process in the auditing subject. But what I want to point out is the auditor role, which is to ensure, all right, they will provide a substantial assurance, all right, substantial assurance that the financial report is true and fair. That should be clear. Is it okay? Then come back to this one, all right, over here. What is the auditor that look at the financial report got to do with this one, the AIS system? So inside the auditor work, all right, they have to do some work, right, to express their opinion whether this report is true and fair or not. So one of their work is to check or to test whether the company controls are doing well or not, there's any control or not on the system and also on the company itself. So one of it is this one, right? There's a long thing. Then they have this, what they call a working paper, where they have to write down what they are work on, and then they have to do some vouching, you know, those kind of boring process. You know, you generate your financial report, right? So all those reports, they will, instead of accountants in this information accounting system, from data, we record, process, get the report, right? So they will do the opposite. They will go to balik. Alright, they will start from the report, they will watch back to the data. So that is their role. So they cannot do everything. Alright, let's say the transaction is 1,000 transactions. They cannot check 1,000 transactions, right? They will go crazy. So what they can do is they can do what they call this substantial procedure. One of the method, which is if the test of control pass, it means the process, all right? We got the data, process, and the report, right? So then the report, then they go back to this process. If this process pass the test of control, it means that this process has all the internal control valid and it is good, then they can do a random sampling. You got it. Now only they can go and do the substantial procedure, which is the random sampling. So that actually come back to this over here. All right, the auditor role in auditing the system. However, over here, these are all the tools, all right, auditor can use to help them to perform all those different works that they have to achieve, all right, in order to express their true and fair view. Okay, so over here we have different types of tools. The computer assisted audit tools and technique, CAAT. This one is basically from the start until the end, there will be a steps. So they will follow the software, they input all the document inside, and then at the end of the day, the system will tell them, is it they have done enough audit, they have done enough work or not to prove that the report is true and fair. Okay, these are tools that the auditor use. Okay, we haven't see how the auditor audit the system yet. Right? These are the tools that they will use to audit, to do their work. Then we got this generalized audit software, also one of the software as well. And then we got data extraction tools. These are one of the tools that one of the tools that auditor can use to extract information from the accounting system. You got your accounting system, right? The one that you have been doing for your assignment. I hope you like them. No. Who like doing the accounting job? Huh? The accounting job. the accounting job, like the one that you've done in your assignment. If you like that one, then you should be okay lah, alright? If you don't like that one, I hope I don't make you don't like that one lah, okay? Because in reality, next time you go out to work, if you start from the small company or medium company, you will do these kind of things lah. Unless you jump to the big company, then they will apply the RPA already, robotic process automation, next level lah, alright? Higher level. Otherwise, you will start with this one, alright? Accounting job. So what is data extraction tools is, so you got the report, you got the system, they might have a system to extract all the information from the system, from the accounting system, and then find which information that they want, alright? Penetration testing tools. This one is to check the threats, the cyber threats. Threats, correct, my threats. Remember the cyber threats, penetrating testing tool, whether it can penetrate through the company's data or not. We got the flow chart software, the one that we draw them, right? The flow charts. They will have to do the flow charts, and then from the flow charts, ensure that they are in order. Alright, there is everything flows accordingly. Then continuous auditing tool. These are different tools, alright, to monitor the system, alright. Okay, I forgot to say one more thing. Auditor has two types of auditor. Alright, one is the internal and one is the external auditor. I forgot. External auditor, the one that I talked to you about, right, is external auditor, alright. The one that I've been talking to you all the while, alright, is external auditor. They come in and then they check. They also will test the internal control. But the internal control, those things that we have been discussed, we have those control over here, right, that we have been discussed so far, alright. There will be this will be the role of internal auditor. Internal auditor will set up those controls. Okay. So then you tell me in AIS, what is the role of AIS, or what is the output of studying AIS, right? Output of studying AIS is understanding the processes, basically. Alright? Understanding the processes. And learning on advanced technology, on improving the processes. Alright, how are you going to improvise the processes? For example, you can see nowadays, you no longer use even you go to this Zubaida, right? You accept the QR code already. Okay, so these are like examples of what's supposed to be the future of this subject, right? Bringing you towards that path. How are you going to improvise the process? How are you going to improve the business process flow? How are you going to make it more efficient and effective? Alright? That will be the ultimate goal. Alright? Ultimate goal. Okay, so now we move to the next part, which is the IPO control. Alright? This is where the auditor want to look at whether the system is controlled or not from the input control, process control, and the output control. So a good system should have this IPO control. Okay. So first is the input. All right. After this one finish already. Okay. After this is the final part of the chapter. Yes, this is the final part of the chapter. After this one, we finish already. Yes. Yeah? Yes, we'll go for a break. But class not finished yet, okay? Class not finished yet. So I'll go through with you this, what is IPO, alright? We got input control. So firstly, we want to do, the auditor need to check is, they want to ensure that the source document is controlled. You want to make sure that the invoices are not fake. Okay? These are the first control, the input control. The invoices are not fake, the data are not dummy, all kind of thing. There's no fraudulence, how you pronounce it? Fraudulence, right? Fictitious information, right? It means fake kind of information. Alright, you don't want that to happen. And that's why you need to have a source document control. So you will check whether the information is valid or not. So this is what happened in the in today's era, right? In Malaysia, when we talk about invoices, okay, you need to think like this, you know. When you study this subject, right? When you study accounting subject, right? You need to think about the company. Okay, you need to be a good imaginator, right? Remember the first time I talked to you, right? To imagine well, right? So come to this one, right? Input on the system, source document. In a company, what do you want to do? In a company, what do you want to do? You want to have high sales, right? You want to show that your company is doing well, right? So if your company is doing well, what do you want to do? How you want to make your company do or perform well? Increase the sales, right? Or maybe you want to run away from tax. What do you want to do? You want to reduce the invoices, right? You want to reduce the sales, right? You want to run away from tax, right? Or you want to report some fake expenses to minus out the profit, right? To minus out the revenue. So one of the problem is the invoices. You can create fake invoices and then report to the LHDN, which is our Malaysia island revenue, right? Malaysia, we call it right, the IRB, right? So you want to report fake invoices. Last time you can easily, you can create fake invoices and then you say that, okay, this person I received from this person, and then you can cancel out the profit or cancel out the revenue. However, nowadays, because of technology advancement, we can see that one of the way they control the source document is in Malaysia, they introduced the e-invoicing. So they control the source document already, alright? By introducing e-invoicing, everyone has to upload their invoices online, alright? So what happens is that you cannot lie anymore, okay? If there is inconsistent, right? If there's any inconsistent in the invoices amount being reported, the system is very smart already. They can automatically detect and then flag some issue, okay? So we can see some of the way that the government is trying to enforce, right? I try to enforce the control on the fake invoices, okay? We got this validation checks. We are talking about the input, alright? Input to the system. Input to the system. Auditor role to check on the input control. Alright, one of it is to check the source document, make sure that it is controlled. before being input into the system. Then second is the validation check. Okay, validation check is very simple. You have seen this also already. Use the system, right? Accounting system. Okay, so very good example of field check is if you go to the system and you go to the date, right? You cannot key in alphabets. Can you key in alphabets in the date? If you don't know, then you go up back and open your SQL system and see, and you try to enter some alphabet, some text, right, in the date or in the amount, right? In the amount value, you cannot type in any alphabets. The system to block you lah. If the system doesn't block you, it means it failed the input control. All right, it failed the field check. Is it okay? Are you okay with me? Suddenly I can feel like have you all have your lunch already? Not yet. Huh? Yes. both also got effect, you know. If you don't eat, you feel no energy. If you eat, then you feel sleepy. All right, we almost done already. All right. Range check. Range check is when there's a limit. All right, you put the limit that it will not go negative, or there will be a limit that it will not go into a certain amount, maybe 10,000 or 100,000. So a good system should also have this range check as well. Okay, since your friends is shouting already. Format check. Format check is, as what I said earlier, alphabet, numeric, all right, and text. Okay, they're same, right? Text and alphabet. All right. Then you want to make sure that there's a format check, and then consistency check. So the amount you input in the invoices, you remember or not? In your SQL, right? You click the plus button in your invoices. You enter some amount over here. Some maybe they buy the what example you buy? What did you sell in the assignment? Yeah? Rosewood, right? So you plus one rosewood and then you put the amount here. The unit, right? The unit, then you put the discount, and then you got the total amount here, right? So this total amount over here and the grand total below must be consistent, all right? You cannot have the amount here is 10 ringgit, but over here is 20 ringgit. Then this system pops out, right? It got some problem. So you have to make sure that it goes through that as well. Of course, this one is the one that you should know. All right, authorization control. All right, means the username and password. Okay, in the system input. Then the process. Okay, let me finish in 3 minutes. All right, so that you can have a break. Okay, process control. In order for the system to have a good process control, first thing is the SOD. SOD, not HOD, right? SOD is a segregation of duty, all right? There is a segregation of duty to ensure that the process is controlled, all right? External, this is external to the system. This is external to the system. But this one is internal. Here to here is internal to the system. First is you want to make sure that the system algorithm is correct. System algorithm, it means that no bug lah. In a simple word, right? No bug lah. No bug. You want to make sure that when you click save, it saves. You want to make sure that when you click generate the SST report, it generates the SST report as you want. The algorithm is correct. You know what's the algorithm? Algorithm is what's it? The procedure, like a rule-based, all right, algorithm. So it goes like you tell the system to first take the information from A, then plus with B, then multiply with 3%. So the algorithm should work correctly. Not multiply 3% first, then only minus this one. Then means this system cacat lah, you know. It means this system got issues. The process is not controlled. Transaction logging. You want to make sure that in processing the transaction, there is a log. Log means it will state all the log lah, right? You'll say that what happened, who entered this information, who edited this information. You know, there must be a log to ensure that the process is controlled. Reconciliation control is two things: checking back the information from what you enter from the top and the below is same, and then also it can be reconciled with another part of the system when you generate the report. Okay. Then output. Okay, finally, all right. Finally, I'll put two things over here only that I want to highlight is make sure the data presentation is presentable. All right. Output doesn't really have much things, but auditor, you want to make sure that it is presentable. Instead of you wanted to get a financial report, when it is presented, the profit shouldn't be on top, right? The profit should be on below. All right. The logic, it flows it on the presentation well. It should be accurate and complete. Okay. Then this is the IPO control. All right. Input, process, and output control. Okay, I think that's it.